What's up, everybody? So I got a quick project today. I'm going to do some heat management stuff on the car. I've got a turbo blanket I'm going to put on, and then right where my turbo sits is a spot from the Taurus fan that's not covered up on the radiator. So I'm going to make a quick heat shield for that just to keep air from getting into the turbo, or hot air into the turbo. So this is what I'm working with. Got this open space right here. I'm going to try and cover up but let air flow through. I took the heat shield that I had off for the intake that was over here. It ran across and then covered up part of the fan. And then I'm going to put some weather stripping on the edge of that and hopefully do some heat management, and it'll help make the car, perform a little bit better and hopefully make just a little bit more power. Alright, so this is what I got going on. I've actually modified my radiator to be a triple pass. I sectioned it off. So I cut it right here, almost all the way down to where the core is, and then I did it in another section and divided it up into 3 sections. Because, of course, the factory hose hooks in over here, and I just don't think it utilizes the radiator good. When I actually cut this thing up, when I put this hole in right here, I actually saw that a lot of these fins on this side were clogged up. So I cleaned everything up before I put it back together and noticed that it definitely cools a lot better, but every little bit I can get will help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a piece that'll go from the side over here up to the fan shroud and pretty much down to underside of the turbo. That way I can just get as much flow through here as possible. Alright, so this is my first piece. I just cut out a sheet of aluminum about the size that I needed, and then I put a bend in it here just to kind of match up with the fan. So next I'm going to block off here so it doesn't let any hot air in the front. And then I'm going to block off back over here so I don't get engine bay heat into where I've got the intake of the turbo shielded off. Alright, so this is what I got made. Got this front piece blocked off. I just need to make another little piece to go in the corner there. And then a piece down here by the turbo. I'm going to use some weather stripping to seal everything off. And then I'm going to make a piece that's going to go in this area here to seal that off, and I'll use the same weather stripping material. And I've got these holes I already put in here to get some fresh air from the front of the car. So I'm going to get that next piece made and then get everything welded up. Alright, so I got this back panel made. I don't want it to touch because I've got space for the gasket material, but I just used a body clip on the back side. Didn't push it all the way in yet. To hold it in place, there was already an existing hole there, and I'll probably just add one more hole. But I'll get all this stuff pulled off, get it cleaned up really good around all the edges so there's nothing sharp, and get everything welded up. Alright, so you can see I've got all my pieces in place. Went ahead and welded the 2 little tabs on, and then I actually took some vacuum line and split it in half and put it on the edge, so if this moved around and it fell on top of the radiator itself, it wouldn't cut through the fins or cut any of the tubes and cause a leak. I'll probably, once I paint all this stuff, take some super glue and glue that in place so it doesn't move. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to look like. And then I've got some rubber weather stripping that I'm going to put on the edges around the turbo here, back in here, and on this tab here. So it should have everything pretty much sealed up pretty good. Yeah, there's a little space down over here. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I got most of it so it'll be covered up and keep everything as cool as possible. So I'll get all this stuff painted and then get the weather stripping on and show you what it looks like. Alright, well, I got the two pieces that weren't painted up. They look pretty good. Got everything sealed halfway decent. This piece here will actually push down on this and seal the radiator or a fan, so it won't be getting any hot air from there. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was looking for. I'll get everything together and then we'll go for a quick ride so you see how the car performs. It's getting a little late, so the light will be kind of low, but hopefully you'll be able to see everything. Alright, I'm going to take the Z out. I got the downpipe done, and the little bit of heat management we did on the car by sealing up the intake a little bit, trying to get all the hot air away from the intake, and then putting a turbo blanket on it. So I'm going to take y'all for a little ride and let you know how it is. So right now we're driving around on low boost. That's around 380 horsepower, and then here in a little bit I'll turn it up to the high boost setting, and we'll see how the car does. Car definitely feels like the turbo comes on a lot quicker and a lot smoother than it did before. Break up. Car might not be totally up to temp yet. We'll see. Plus, it's pretty cold out right now. Boost setting. Don't mind the beeping, it's my oil pressure gauge. Of course, these are notorious for having low pressure. Let's see what it does with a high boost setting. limiter. Did better than it did on the dyno. The dyno would only hit right around 6,000. So, not quite 7, but it still pulls good. The car is actually running pretty cool, so that's good. But I'll do a couple more pulls here and there. Yeah, I'm definitely happy I did this big downpipe. It's a completely different car than it was before. The response is a whole lot smoother, and surprisingly, before the car wouldn't spin whenever you would get into boost, and now it's starting to spin. So, any improvement's an improvement. I guess I'll have to get some better tires on this thing sometime soon, or fix the camber issue in the rear. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Alright, well, we are back from Mexico. Took it for a little test drive just to check out this heat management project we did and the big 4-inch downpipe. So, of course, we kind of sealed off the intake from sucking in a lot of hot air. And then, of course, put a turbo blanket on, keeps all your heat in the turbo, and it helps it spool up quicker. One thing I did notice when we were driving the car is that my boost control settings were a little weird. My low boost setting was actually making my high boost numbers since I got rid of a big restriction. The 3-inch downpipe just wasn't big enough, and this 4-inch downpipe was a major improvement, especially seeing how now all my boost control settings are weird. So, gonna take the car back to the dyno, get some final numbers before I do my next big project with the car and put it down. And I'm gonna be, well, putting in a Mega Squirt. I'm going to do a custom wiring harness and going to add some extra sensors, flex fuel, boost control, things like that. I really want to try and push the car and see what kind of power I can make. If I make 600, I'd be pretty happy. If I don't, oh well. The car's still fun. I'm going to try and add stuff like traction control and a really good launch control system. Just kind of push the car, see what I can do with it. That's it for today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, and have a good night.